Mr. Silver, I want to read an email to you, and I want you to help me kind of walk through it, okay? Don't ever send an email on Department of Energy email with private email addresses. That makes them subpoenaable. And we're going to overlook the fact that the word subpoenaable is not a word. Why were you concerned about subpoenas?
As I said before your arrival, Congressman.
No, I was here for it.
That email was an intent to remind and admonish the staff who had received an earlier email that was on the DOE server that somebody had included somebody's personal email address on, that they should try to keep those two things separate.
Why? That's my question. What were you concerned would be subpoenaed?
I wasn't concerned that any specific thing was going to be subpoenaed.
Well, then why did you use that phraseology, Mr. Silver? That's not a throwaway line. That's not, hope you're doing well, call me sometime.
No, it is inartful, no question about it.
No, I didn't say it was inartful. I think it was exactly what you intended to communicate. My question to you is, what were you concerned would be subpoenaed?
I was not concerned that any specific thing would be subpoenaed.
Well, then why did you say it, Mr. Silver? That makes them subpoenaable.
I was trying to remind the staff that all their personal emails and whatever that includes, whatever they do, whoever they're doing it with.
Well, don't you think that flies directly in the face of the Federal Records Act, that you would be concerned that something would be discovered? I mean, subpoenaable is another word for discoverable, right? They mean the same thing, essentially.
Yes.
So your DOE emails are already discoverable. You were concerned that personal emails would be discovered, right?
I was reminding the staff that their personal emails should remain personal to themselves.
Well, that's not what you said, Mr. Silver. I mean, that may have been what you meant, but that's certainly not what you said. Well, what you said was that makes them subpoenaable or discoverable or can be found out.
As I said, Congressman, what I meant was that they should keep their personal and professional emails separate.
I asked you specifically whether or not you were concerned that concealment might be a motive for using personal emails, because you told us it was all about convenience, that you only forwarded emails that had large attachments or documents, and that it made it difficult for you to read on your BlackBerry. Do you recall that testimony?
I do. I said that was largely the case, but yes, I do recall that.
All right. Did you forward any emails from your DOE account to your personal account that did not have documents attached to them?
I'm sure I did.
Well, the very email that you and I have been discussing came from your personal email account, right?
That email does originate from my personal account, yes.
Right, and that didn't have a lot of documents attached to it. It wasn't necessarily hard to read, was it? It's just 2 sentences.
Right. That's correct.
Ms. Jackson, can you use my home email rather than this one when you need to contact me directly? Why did you say that?
Because Allison Taylor, the author in the email chain, was a friend, and I believe that a personal friend should use personal email.
All right. Is there an exception for personal friends in the Federal Records Act?
Sir, as I've already stated, my intention was to comply with the Federal Records Act.
That wasn't my question, actually. Is there an exemption or an exception that you're aware of for personal friends? That's a simple, it's not a complicated question. Are you aware of an exception to the Federal Records Act for personal friends, yes or no?
The Federal Records Act the intent is to make sure that official government business is captured in official government accounts.
Well, what she was emailing you, would you consider that to have been official government business?
As I said earlier, sir, she had requested through official channels a meeting for her employer.
And do you think that was a personal meeting or a meeting in your professional capacity as the administrator?
The meeting was being handled through professional channels.
All right, so it was a professional email that she sent to you, and your response was, contact me on my personal email.
No, the response included saying that we would work to set up the meeting, and what I say is if you need to contact me directly, this is a friend talking to another friend.
Is it possible that a friend could contact you about official business? Is that possible?
It's certainly
Well, it
possible.
clearly has to be possible because that's what's happened here.
Well, I'm happy to answer the question, sir. I would say yes. It's certainly
Okay,
possible.
so why would there be an exception for friends to use your personal email, even if it might be official government work?
Sir, friends use personal email. If there's official government work involved, then under EPA policy, I would then have to forward it in to an official account so that it could be captured for record-keeping and archiving purposes.
Well, Ms. Jackson, I'm sure you can see how a skeptical reader of that email might reach another conclusion, wouldn't you?
I think that if someone has the intent to see something more there, that's fine, but the email talks about a meeting being scheduled through official channels.
Right, and she used the Richard Windsor email, and she didn't have any trouble getting to you through that email. And your response was, can you use my home email rather than this one when you need to contact me directly?
Again, if you look at the entirety of the email chain,
I don't have the
you'll see
entirety of it. I'll be happy to look at it.
It's available on the EPA website, and it has been released under FOIA. I also gave it for the record.